Going on, guys? Hopefully, you guys are having a good weekend. If you're watching the replay, please hit that like button, comment your thoughts as we get into this. We're gonna give some people some time to get in here. So if you're watching on the replay, you might want to skip forward to about the 5 minute mark watching the replay. But today, we're gonna be diving into the top 9 reasons why dating is so hard. And this is gonna be a very interesting topic for you guys. We all know dating is ridiculous and insanely hard right now. So we're all dealing with the same things if you're single. Hell, even if you're in a relationship. Our perspectives on dating in general, we think the game stops whenever we get into relationships when that's not the truth at all. At all. We're going to get into this subject shortly. Just giving people some time to get in here. Greetings this Saturday morning. Hopefully you guys are again having a good weekend. Had a good work week. Hopefully your work week wasn't too stressful. Hopefully you got some fun planned for the weekend. So as you guys come in here, please hit the like button. Just double tap the screen. It's much appreciated. Get more engagement. All of this is free of charge. But yeah, we got to talk about this today because this was something that I was just thinking about recently. Because we're all dealing with issues in dating, right? Even if you're in relationships, the game never stops. The game never stops. And so even if you're single, you're going through your problems. Even if you're in a relationship, you're still going through problems. The problems never end. It's how you navigate through it. It's your mindset on how you deal with these kinds of things. And so on today's live stream, we're going to examine the many problems. And in my estimation, guys, there's so many problems going on in relationships right now. The road is so rocky. Sometimes it's hard to believe that any relationships are still healthy and working. That's just how many problems people are going through and how many problems are in dating. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Uh, the dating culture we cultivated at this point in society, it just points further into our decline of the social ramifications of it. But yeah, it's shocking today that people can still get together and hold a relationship. It's crazy. So many difficult problems to navigate through. So many different things. People's pasts. And what's crazy is whenever you start asking people and vetting them properly and asking them questions, all of a sudden you realize very quickly that they're not worthy of any long-term commitment. So this is the average person in dating today. It's crazy, absolutely insane, right? What's going on so high? Absolutely insane. So as we get into this topic, you guys are more than welcome to chat your thoughts, get in your personal feelings. You identify with these things. I'll be reading the chats as we go along in the live stream. Jada the good one. Hey, what's going on? Mm. Also, what inspired this live stream is I was watching a live stream recently about India Love, and apparently she's some kind of Instagram model that's trying to pivot into the mainstream. She wants to get rid of all her OnlyFans, all that stuff. And as you just, this woman is not out of the ordinary. She's a very common woman. What's going on, Zaire? It's glad to see you this morning. Hopefully you had a good week. Hopefully you're having a good Saturday morning so far. What's going on, Zaire? Yes, you guys hit the like button as you guys come in here. Let me hit this. Okay. So the car don't shut down. Keep the AC going. I'm 24, failed in everything in my life. Do you think it's worth to go back to college for nursing and start a new life? Nursing is actually not that bad of a field. If you would have said anything else other than the medical field, I probably would have said, hey, you probably should just go into AI. But since you want to go into nursing, nursing is a good field. It would be in demand always. Um, just dive into what kind of nurse you want to be, because some of those duties of the nurses is kind of disgusting. So look into what kind of nurse you want to be. And what is going on? Okay, I don't know why the stream just kind of paused. I apologize for the lag or something. That tripped me out. What about radiology technology? It sounds like a good field. It sounds like a good field. Um, well, I appreciate you guys still sticking in here. Still sticking in here after the little pause. I don't know. The connections around here is insane, man. Like, it's ridiculous. And so, yeah, just double check and look into Zaire writes to So Man, looking at social media and being monetized. Corporate America is being replaced by AI. Absolutely, bro. That's why I said. That's why I told him that, Zaire. If you would have said anything else besides the medical field, like I would have said, homie, just focus on AI. Double down on learning AI. But since you want to be in nursing, medical field, that part of the medical field will always be needed, especially with the next 5 to 10 years. By 2030, a lot of jobs will be taken. I was watching a video this morning, and your telemarketers will not exist. Your call center people will not exist. Most salespeople will not exist. Software engineers will not exist. And so, this is a very crucial time. So high. I'm glad you asked this question. Very crucial time in people's careers because you can't find a job right now unless you want to work in retail. And retail jobs are going to be taken by 2030. They're already being taken. And so this is a very critical time for you to really buckle down and focus on what the future of your career is going to be, because depending on what you pick, by the time you go to college and get out, it will become irrelevant, and now you have all this debt. For the most part, in today's society, college is a scam. It is a scam because by the time you either get out, your degree will be nonsense because innovation and technology is moving at such a fast pace. And so, very critical that you choose the right career. Very critical. I mean, the more we think about it, the more universal basic income seems more and more like it's going to happen. I see we got some people in here. You guys just double tap the screen, hit the like button for me if you're enjoying this live stream so far. It's free of charge. I appreciate it. Get more people inside of here. Yeah, and social media too, building your own brand. So, yeah, man, we're in a very interesting place in society. Um, Careers are non-existent. If you guys are before, well, I know we're kind of going off on a tangent. We're not supposed to talk about this. Supposed to get into like the top 9 reasons, but we'll go into this. If you guys are using Indeed, LinkedIn to find jobs, good luck. If that's your main source of how to find jobs, good luck. If you don't know people that know people, or people don't know you, you're gonna struggle, bro. People literally keep saying they've applied for hundreds of 50 to 100 of jobs and can't get any reply. A lot of these jobs are fake jobs. And hell, these companies are using AI to filter through the applications. So you're not even really, so whenever they put the keywords in for their what they're looking for in somebody's resume, guys, most of your resume could be spot perfect, but if you don't have the right keywords in there that they're looking for, you're gonna get overlooked. But anyway, let's get back into these women. Okay, so you guys continue to chat. We'll get into this as we get further into the live stream. But reason number one why dating is so hard, and this is not in any particular order, this is just the top 9 reasons why dating is ridiculous and hard for most of you. Many of the attractive people, meaning the top 10% men or most women in general, have too many options. Think about this. We've gotten to a space in society where women who are ugly, women who are overweight, women who are nerds, goths, the average woman, just average looking plain Janes, all of them think they deserve to get a top 10% man. See, this wasn't the case always, and I'm going to tell you why. And this is to blame, we have to blame dating apps and social media for this. Because when you go out in real life, uh, and when you look at the past, people used to date within a social class. What do you mean people used to date within a social class, Miles? Well, the nerds dated other nerds. The fat people dated other fat people. People knew where they ranked socially and they were realistic in their dating expectations. The cheerleader dated the football player dated the cheerleaders, or the attractive woman in the school. Now, the nerds is screwing the athletes, the nerds is screwing, the nerd women is screwing, got access to the attractive jocks and all kinds of stuff. The fat women are getting their taste of it too because of dating apps. Because why? Whenever you're on a dating app, it's secret. Whenever you're on social media, it's secret. It's within your phone. So guess what? You can DM, a attractive guy can DM a fat woman or an ugly woman and say, hey, I want you to come over. And the fat woman will be like, and because she's low pickings and it's a slow Tuesday, he needs something to do that night. And so she's like, oh, wow, this guy, he's higher status than me and he invited me over. I'm going to take it. And so she gets over there and she, gets her back blown out, and then she leaves. And this results in her gaining some sense of false confidence. Now the guy, he just wanted something to hit that night. He was, it was a slow Tuesday. He was, feeling horny. He was trying to, just get the easiest thing that that he could get. But if you go out in real life, you go out to the mall, you go out to whatever to socialize, you will not see an attractive man approach an overweight woman or an ugly looking woman. You won't see that. Why? Because in real life, you don't want that social shame. You want things to line up socially in real life. And this is why when you guys approach an average plain Jane, an average looking woman, oh, she looks pretty cool. Whenever you walk up to her, she has this kind of attitude and she's kind of like dismissive of you. It's because whenever you look at her DMs, when you look at her dating apps, she gets all kinds of guys in there. And so if we eliminated social media and we eliminated dating apps, the social order would go back to normal. Who is richest? Now it's all, so high said, now it's all about who is richest. There's some truth to that. And we're going to get into that in a second. That's one of the other reasons. And so, since she has so many options through dating apps, through all these different things, these different avenues of getting men online, whenever you aren't acting right in her eyes, whenever another option that looks better than you comes along, she ghosts you and disregards you. This is why you're like, what happened? Everything seemed so perfect. The first date was cool. We had drinks. It's because she found another guy. That's why. Another guy that was a little bit more tall, a little bit taller, a little bit more attractive than you. And see, she has a paradox of choice now. She can't decide what guy she wants. And then this is what happens. She starts using, since she can't decide which man she wants long term for just one, she starts using men for different purposes. So guess what? Like you said, so high, she's attached to the sugar daddy, the guy that has the money. So guess what? When she gets into a bind, she goes to him, maybe gives him a BJ, or may even screw him, right? And to get that money from that rich guy, older guy, the sugar daddy. And then she'll pay her bills or go buy whatever frivolous materialistic thing she wants. And then she has the sugar daddy on one side. That's one guy. Then she has the sneaky link, of course, the guy that just serves the purpose of blowing her back out because he performs like she prefers a man to perform. And so that's two guys. And then she has another guy that she uses for as an emotional punching bag. This is the guy she takes on whenever it's a public event and she needs to make a good appearance. She invites this guy. The guy she keeps leading on, the guy that's a nice guy, that's the simp. And so these women, they have rousters. And they're using men for different purposes. So when you guys go on to a date, it's Saturday night, or maybe you guys went on a date Friday night, yesterday, I want you to know that when you go on that date, that she's talking to you and multiple other men. Don't go into it thinking that you're the only one, because you're not. These women have way too many options today. And the likelihood of you being replaced by whatever option she deems best is a real thing. It's a real thing. That's a very important mindset and insight you need to have when approaching dating today. A lot of you guys, you fall in love too quick. So if you're enjoying this, please hit the like button as you guys come in here. If you guys can identify with this, please hit the or comment your thoughts. Um, the second reason, we live in an instant gratification culture, a culture where you don't have to, you can just put your rice in the rice cooker and it'll be done in seconds, a few minutes. You can just put the oatmeal in the microwave, it'll be ready in 1 minute. This mentality of things coming so quickly disorients your expectations of what it takes to be in a relationship. See, relationships take time. It takes time to vet somebody. I hope you guys realize whenever you guys are going on these dates, you're meeting a representative. You're not meeting the real person. You're meeting a representative. So this is why you elongate the dating process so you can see who she actually is, because when she shows up on the date, she's being fake. And so a proper dating process takes time. And this is why when women are dating for a purpose, they're trying to rush the relationship. Why? Because they're on a timer. They have baby rabies. There's numerous reasons why they're rushing you, because they know they can't keep the facade up for too long. And so also too, it just takes time. You can just have a good person, but it still just takes time for you to get to know the person. Zaire TV writes, see, all of this is why a lot of men, such as myself, have happily wiped our hands with relationships. It's not worth my peace ever again. And a lot of you guys can identify with what Zaire just said. Like I said earlier, there's so many problems in relationships right now, and we're only on point 2. There's so many problems within relationships amongst the people, of how miscalibrated we've been through the culture, through the propaganda, that it's truly shocking to me that relationships even last today. I mean, can you guys identify with this, Zaire? You said, but what about you other guys in here watching the live stream? Can you guys identify with what I'm picking up and putting down? And so, since we live in this instant gratification culture, whenever there's relationship turbulence, whenever times get uncomfortable, when times get complicated, people are quick to leave. This is why whenever I made the video about the guy who was dating a woman and she left him, or she had sex with her ex the same night that he had a seizure, because that didn't feel good to be by your side and you about to die and you over here gyrating and you know what the hell's going on with you. These people today cannot stand any uncomfortability. They can't stand any hard times. This is why they say they don't want to build with you. Because building is uncomfortable. You have to get nasty, dirty. You have to put a lot of effort in. These women want you to already be the winner, and she just shows up at the finish line and walks out with you. She don't want to help you in the training process, what it takes to win the race, dealing with your injuries and all the different things it takes to win the race. She doesn't want to go through all of that. She wants you to show up and be already this perfect person. Point number 3. poor communication skills. This is why relationships are in a stalemate. This point right here is why relationships are resulting in a stalemate, because no one wants to be honest. And so women are like, well, since men are dating and having their own options, I'm going to date and do my own thing as well. Since I'm going to get cheated on and do all this stuff too, I might as well cheat first. Guys are like, why would I get into a relationship with you? You're dating me and other guys. Why would I get into a relationship with you? You've slept with 50 guys. And so that's where we're at right now. We're in a stalemate. Men and women are looking at each other like it's like one of those Wild Wild West scenes where people got their hands on a holster. That's what it looks like today. Who's going to fold first? Typically, the simp folds first because he hadn't got a woman in the first place. And so, of course, he's going to pick up some of these leftover women, these single mothers, these ran through women. And plus, if we're being honest, some of you guys, you're afraid to ask these questions. You're afraid to vet the woman. You're afraid to ask these questions. Why are you afraid to ask these questions? Because you're going to find out something you don't want to find out. You're going to find out that she slept with you and your best friend back in college. You're going to find out that she did all kinds of drugs. You're going to find out that she got trained by the football team. You're going to find out some really gut-wrenching things. So that's why a lot of people don't ask these questions and vet these women properly. Because you know she been out here in these streets. She hadn't been in a church. She not been at home reading the Bible, reflecting on scripture. Hell no. She's getting busy in these streets. An idle mind is the devil's playground. These women aren't going anywhere. They're not trying to get to the bag. They work 9 hours, 8-9 hours, and go back home and get to scrolling and watching Netflix and eating Haagen-Dazs ice cream and drinking wine. Some of them still partying. A lot of you guys are afraid to ask these women and hold them to a standard, because if you hold them to a standard, they're going to fail the standard and you're going to be single again, which is people. This is how men adapt their strategies. Like, well, you're not relationship status, so we might as well just F. And if we're being honest, a lot of women, that's all they bring. It's unfortunate, but it's true. And so we're about to get into point 4. As you guys come in here, hit the like button, just double tap the screen. I would much appreciate it. You guys are enjoying this. This is the top 9 reasons why relationships are hard. We're on point 4. Point 1 was too many options. She has too many options, and she's using multiple men for different purposes because of social media. Second reason is because of instant gratification culture. Nobody can withstand any relationship turbulence. We just got done talking about poor communication skills. How nobody wants to be honest and truthful in relationships, which results in cheating and stalemates. And number 4, I just spit everywhere. Hopefully you guys didn't see that. That was disgusting. Anyways, embarrassing. Anyways, number 4, and this goes back to what Soha said earlier. Now it's all about who is the richest. So people have unrealistic expectations, and this is a talking point that you guys have heard numerous times. But through the miracles of modern science, through all these different kinds of surgeries, like guys, I was looking at this server recently at this restaurant, and this woman had her whatever surgery that Botox is, I think it is, where they get the fat off of your cheeks and try to make your jaw look so chiseled. I'm like, first of all, ladies, a chiseled jaw is for men. That's attractive to women. Us men, we don't want you to have a chiseled jaw. That makes you look manly. And so I'm just looking at this woman, and she's like, "You look like." I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, "You look like Thriller, Thriller." And so women think they have to get these unrealistic and these surgeries, these cosmetic surgeries, to be appealing. When in reality, we didn't men never told you to get these surgeries. So now you're dealing with an unrealistic person. We're talking about unrealistic expectations, point four, because we're dealing with unrealistic people. Think about how fake these women are today. Their hair is fake. Their makeup is fake. Their eyelashes are fake. Their lips have had surgery. They're inflated. They've had Botox surgery. Older women, they tighten their skin and get their neck and fat off their face to make them look younger. Their boobs are fake. They get the fat off of their arms to make their arms look more tight so they look younger as they get older. Their ass is fake because it's been inflated and they've had a BBL surgery. They wear high heels. They aren't that tall. And so you don't know what she actually, plus you get nose surgeries, you don't know what the hell she actually looks like. A lot of you guys, you're getting into relationships with these people thinking that that's how their DNA and genetics actually are. And then you're going to pop out a daughter, and your daughter isn't going to look anything like her mother. And your daughter's going to be looking like, Mom, how did you look like that whenever I look like this? You're going to be confusing the hell out of her daughter. And so, and plus, a lot of you guys, whenever you're following these Instagram models, these are unrealistic expectations. These women are unrealistic. They've had surgery to make their waist smaller. They've had BBL surgery. They've had chest surgery. And so you're fantasizing over a woman that isn't a real woman. So when you walk out in the public and see a decent looking woman, you're desensitized to her, or you're quick to reject her because all of your Instagram pages that you follow are just Instagram models. And you think an actual woman should look like that. And you look out in society, and most women don't look like that. And on the flip side, you got women are so unrealistic in their expectations. They've gotten to the point to where you have to be 6'4", have a six pack, drive a what do you call that? A Mercedes G-Wagon. You got to have a 9-inch penis and make $1 million. So everybody's expectations are completely unrealistic of what it takes to get a person, what they're looking for physically in a person, because all of this, the miracles of modern science, are overly are wrong. Most of the guys that look decent, they're on steroids or HGH or TRT. And so we have fake people, and that's the problem with society in its entirety. Not only are people lying to you verbally, They're lying to you aesthetically. And we expect all these lies to turn into good, long-lasting relationships. It's not. A woman that has all this fake surgery is a narcissist. And then guess what? When she gets all them surgeries, you have to pay for maintenance, which is what? Boosting up more of your expenses. So you gotta get a house, you gotta get a nice car, you gotta have a nice job, you gotta pay for daycare because her ass don't want to fucking be at home and take care of the relationship. And so, guys, this is one of all the many problems that you're going to deal with. So as you guys come in here, hit the like button if you're enjoying this live stream. So let's get to number 5. I got my notes right here. Got to come prepared for these live streams. I'm probably going to have to blow my nose in a second because this cold air is getting to me. Probably just pointing in a different direction. And so point number 5, and this is where I am. And a lot of you guys are in the same position too. Because a lot of you guys, you don't struggle getting women. You just don't trust women. And here's where we're at. Number 5 as to why. Number 5 reason as to why relationships are so hard to get into. Fear of commitment, fear of being vulnerable. I'm going to repeat that. Fear of commitment and fear of being vulnerable. Can we be honest for a second here? Can we be honest and just talk this talk and have a real conversation? Dating makes you jaded. That's right. Going through all these continuous negative experiences, getting ghosted, not only on the date, but on the text messages leading up. There's no incentive for her to act right when she has all these options and you're easily replaceable. Dating makes you jaded. Once you get cheated on by a woman, it changes your whole perspective on how you view the women, the whole female species. Once you accidentally go through her phone when she has a drunk night, and then you realize that she was talking to you, the bouncer, which is why she went out that night. She knows the bouncer. She used to screw the bouncer. She knows the DJ there too as well. They used to fuck on and off. Then you realize that she met another guy. Her ex is back in the picture. And then you realize that you've been getting played this whole time. It takes a toll on your mental faculties. So dating will make you jaded. Dating and going through all these negative experiences will cause you to jump into your villain arc. You know, I'm tired of being loyal and respectful and be the nice guy with these women. Which is the origin story of Hugh Hefner, by the way. He got cheated on in his relationship and he's like, screw it, I'm gonna be a playboy and I'm gonna come out with Playboy and I'm gonna be with multiple attractive women until the day I die. And so some men adapt this strategy. Whether it hurts or helps isn't what we're trying to analyze, but the core of it is because your fear of commitment, your fear of being vulnerable. That's the core of it. And then you go through all these different experiences of, you notice when women are cheating on their husbands. You see women out and you see they have a ring on their hand and you see that they're cheating on their husbands. continuously. They're cheating on their boyfriend. You see, he just went to the bathroom and now she's talking to the bartender trying to get his number. All of these things make you not trust women at all. Because why would you, whenever you see all these negative experiences and experience them, whenever she says, I'm just going out tonight with the friends, you think she's getting into something. And that makes you not trust women. And if you can't trust a woman, why would you get into a relationship with a woman? And so that's what makes dating so hard, is you can't trust the other person because you can't trust what they're saying. And you've seen too many negative things. And people call it, it might even, we might need to rephrase it. It might not even be fear of commitment or anything. It might just be realistically, because these people today aren't loyal. They're not loyal to anything. They're only loyal to themselves. And well, that's another point we'll get into a little bit later. They're only loyal to the circumstance, to how things feel. As long as everything feels okay, everybody's okay. Number 6 reason as to why relationships are failing, so hard to get into. And after each point, I'm going to ask you guys to hit the like button. The most simplest thing on the planet Earth. I'm going to have to blow my nose in a second, probably. But number 6, the changing gender roles. The changing gender roles. If we're being honest, men are the new women and women are the new men. What do you mean, Miles? Men are the new women and women are the new men. Let's pay attention to the dynamics, the social dynamics of what's going on right now. So men are the ones that are wanting love, wanting to be in love, wanting to fall in love. This fairy tale fantasy of what love is supposed to be. Men today are struggling with their work. Don't want to work. Some men don't even want to work. Completely checked out of society. And then you're chasing women instead of chasing your purpose. Now, women on the opposite side, they're more masculine than ever. We see this online with all the different altercations they're willing to get into. The Congress member, Representative Nancy Mace, her and another woman got, I think it was, I forget her name, Jasmine Crockett, got into an argument. And then Nancy Mace launches out of her mouth that we can take this outside, meaning that we can get into an altercation. So women are exuding more physical violence than ever before. The strong, independent woman, she's a working woman, focused on her career, her purpose. That's what men used to do, focus on their career, their purpose. The only difference is a woman has a biological clock. Whenever she has a child and she gets pregnant, it takes her out of commission for 9 months. So all of this doesn't make any sense. So women are more masculine. They're getting the more physical altercations. They're working. And then on top of that, they're screwing multiple men and women. Like men used to be back in the day, they used to call the term sow your wild oats. Well, today women are sowing their wild oats. And their sexuality is much more bottomless and diabolical, because they're not only having sex with you guys, they're having sex with other women too. Why do you think when you go to the club, these women are so comfortable dancing with each other, slapping each other on the butt? Why do you think these women are not? They mean it. Some of them mean it when they say they don't want men approaching them, because they're getting their pleasures from other women. And it gets more diabolical. One of the main reasons why HIV is getting spread at a mass scale in certain communities, in certain cities, is because women's morality, women's standard for who they sleep with, is so low that they're sleeping with men that are bisexual as well. And that's how they're getting the HIV. It's ridiculous, right? And so the changing gender roles, people don't know what a husband is anymore, what a man is, what a wife is, what a woman is. These women don't want to be a wife and be a helpmeet like it says in the Bible, even though she'll say she's a Christian. She believes in God, she's a conservative. Well, if you're a conservative, why are you working 12 hours a day? You should be a traditional trad con, working at home, being a homemaker. This is why I say all these women are feminists. All of them. Regardless of political affiliation, regardless of what she says out of her mouth, she's been taught and raised to be a feminist. Reason number 7 as to why relationships are so hard to get into. We live in this hyper individualistic society where everybody is so worried about themselves. This is one of the reasons why you guys don't feel any community. You're isolated. You don't feel any camaraderie with your friends and family. Part of that reason is because we're taught to be hyper individualistic, to focus on the self. This is why when you hear women say, I wasn't happy, she's focused on herself. You're not going to feel happy all the time in a relationship. You're not going to always get what you want in the relationship all the time. Everybody's so focused on their own feelings, their own hardships, they can't think outside of themselves and care about another person. This is why in the city, you feel isolated. When you say hello, people just walk past you. Hyper individualistic society. And it's hurting relationships as well. See, relationships are meant to be reciprocal. It's a give and take. You're not going to always get what you want, but you give in order to get, and vice versa. So people say, I got to focus on me. I got to focus on my career. I got to focus on my mental health and get my mental health right. You hear this majority from women. And then you ask her, like, why did you leave? I had lost myself. If you had lost yourself, why the hell were you in a relationship in the first place? Typical lies. Typical lies. Reason number 8 as to why relationships are so hard to get into. Let me take a swig of water. So if you guys are coming in here, please hit the like button. Much appreciated. Reason number 8, lack of mental health recovery, healing. See, a lot of people, there's a percentage of people that have very traumatic uh, childhoods. They come from broken homes, so their whole relationship outlook is completely distorted. So she thinks a relationship is correlated to dysfunction because that's how she was raised, in a dysfunctional household. She's seen her mother and her father argue, so she thinks that's normal, or she's seen her father hit her mother, and she thinks that's how relationships and problems in a relationship are solved. A lot of you guys will run into these women and they'll be argumentative. It's because that's how they think a relationship is supposed to be solved. Very traumatic upbringing, or maybe they had a father and they were abused, or whatever tremendously bad thing, because this is a real thing, guys. It changes her perspective on the opposite sex as well. If you had a bad father, you're not going to be uppity about dating men if you're a woman, and vice versa. If you had a bad mother that didn't nurture you correctly, you're not going to be uppity about getting into relationships. You're going to have a very jaded view on women, and it's because of how you were raised. Maybe you had a decent childhood, but maybe you had a past relationship that was very toxic. A woman was very toxic, manipulating you and constantly gaslighting you, cheating on you, hitting you, or whatever. And then vice versa with the woman. She's in a very abusive household or whatever. So what happens is they go through all these things and they think that they can be normal and just get into a regular relationship without healing. And that's not the case. You run into these problems with these women, and they have certain responses in certain situations because that's what they've been conditioned to do from their past traumas, either stemming from bad relationships or bad childhood. So this is why people get closed off in relationships. They don't want to open up. It's because of their past experiences. They expect you to read your mind. They're not thoughtful in how they speak and communicate. They're very closed off in how they speak and communicate. And so, like I said, guys, there's a tremendous amount of problems in relationships. And we're going to get to the last one right now. All the reasons why. Number 9, the top reason, one of the biggest reasons why relationships are so hard to get into is because most people, unfortunately, this is the case, most people have a lack of example when it comes to relationship models for them to look up for or look up to, for them to default on. See, when you have, first, let me get into this. A lot of people they come from broken families. meaning that they were raised by a single father or a single mother. So the question is, how can you ever be worthy of a long-term relationship when you haven't seen it modeled in front of you? You don't know what it takes. You don't know how your mom and dad handle problems properly. So how can you be something that you've never seen before with your own eyes? Because people that have seen this over an extended period of time in their life, their default setting is whatever they seen with their parents growing up. So if their parents were going through a tough time and they seen them talk it out, they're more likely to talk it out and get down to the root of the problem with you and stick with the relationship. But if you don't have that and you see the first sign of turbulence in the relationship to be left, you're going to leave in your personal relationships as well. Why? Because children mimic their parents. So that's why it's so crucial in the baby making years and the baby years and the teenage years for you to be a role model to look up to so that they can copy and paste that and have a reference for what a relationship is supposed to be. But a lot of people don't have a good representation or a model of what a relationship should be. And so you start acting out and doing ridiculous things that cause the relationship to falter and end. And so all of these are reasons, guys, as to why relationships are on its last leg and it's so hard to get into. Uh, it's unfortunate that we've cultivated this kind of relationship culture, but it is what it is. And I mean, I would rather give you guys the knowledge on it, give you guys some insight so you guys can navigate through. Because if you don't know how to navigate in today's dating landscape, what's left for you at in the tunnel is child support, court system, divorce court, heartbreak, parental alienation. That's what's left for you if you don't know how to navigate through this stuff. Because nobody else is going to tell you. They're just going to throw you to the wind. Your mom not going. She don't know what to do. She's a single mom too. Dad's probably a simp. You have few examples of what a strong man's supposed to be in a relationship, so of course it's going to end, right? It's unfortunate, man. Very unfortunate. But let's go. Let's do a quick overview of these. The top 9 reasons. Number 1, too many options, way too many options. Number 2, instant gratification culture. So people are quick to leave a relationship when it goes through any hard times. Number 3, poor communication skills. 4, unrealistic expectations of what a relationship should be. They want a person that isn't a real person. Fake. Number 5, fear of commitment, fear of vulnerability in a relationship. Number 6, change of gender roles. Men are the new women and women are the new men. 7, hyper individualism in society and in the culture. So if you're really hyper focused on yourself, you're not going to be focused on your child. You're not going to be focused on your wife, your husband. Number 8, mental health. A lot of people haven't healed properly from their traumatic childhood or traumatic past relationships. And they take that anger out on you. And that forces you to leave the relationship. Number 9, Lack of relationship models. You never seen what a good relationship, a good marriage is supposed to look like. So how can you emulate one if you never seen it? And unfortunately, we've come through a lot of broken families, initiated by the woman, by the way. And so all these reasons, as you guys can go back and review this live stream, are the reasons why relationships are so hard to get into. There's so many different problems in relationships that it's hard to believe that some relationships are even still working. It's hard to believe that some people are still getting into relationships and making them last. Small percentage. And even the people that are in relationships, they're either cheating on each other or they're unhappy and they're just settling. That's the unfortunate reality, but it's the real reality, unfortunately. So if you guys that are in here right now, if you guys can identify with this live stream, identify with this, please comment with your thoughts. I'll engage with the chat for a little bit before I get off the live stream. If you guys can identify with this. The hell is going on, man? I apologize for this keep. The hell is going on, man? I apologize for this keep pausing. I guess people keep calling me or something. I don't know. I put the freaking thing on do not disturb. That's annoying. That's the annoying thing about doing live streams on the phone. People can inconvenience you and they can inconvenience the whole live stream. And so I think that's about it for this live stream. I see people aren't engaging with it, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut it short. You guys can go back and review this live stream of the top 9 reasons why relationship is so hard to get into. I appreciate you guys coming in here. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your weekend. I will see you guys tomorrow. Look for me in the morning time. We'll talk about something else. Again, you guys have a good rest of your day. I appreciate you few that comment in the chat. I appreciate you. Much love. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.